Hello everybody. Before we get started on this week's episode, I just want to make a quick apology. Unfortunately, the GoPro died through the overheat issues, so this episode is filmed mostly on the phone, which unfortunately has suffered a little bit on the quality, but bear with me. Last time on Kipper Tales, we brought you an update on how work is progressing. And we took a closer look to find out just how bad our osmotic problem really is. And we set about cheering up and cleaning up the Bimini and sprayhood, which, as you found out, actually required a little bit of lateral thinking, and we had to get quite creative. But how successful were we? There's only one way to find out. We've got to go back down and fit this thing. Okay, so whilst I've been scrubbing the spray hood, Bimini, etc., I put this tarpaulin on as a temporary measure. I have to say it's held up better than I thought it would. Not sure about the new swimming pool, but mission this morning is to get this off PDQ and then get the new, or the now cleaned up Bimini back in place. Unfortunately, while I knew there was some bad weather on the way, I hadn't really appreciated just how bad it was going to be. And it took a neighbour to remind me just exactly what was actually on the way. So, as they say, the best laid plans. As you know, I came down today to refit the Bimini and the spray canopy as well, but step down here out of the wind a bit. Unfortunately, that plan seems to be thwarted a little bit. The weather's coming in a lot quicker than it was originally predicted to, and just talking to my neighbour, a very seasoned sailor in his own right, was very nervous about the whole situation, actually, to the point where he suggested that rather than putting the canopy up, I should be taking it down, because he's lost a canopy in the past and Bimini in the past on the same yard. So like I say, you know, take advice from people that know. So I've gone back to square one, really, but I've also got rid of the tarpaulin that was also covering this cockpit as well, after a fashion. I predict that it'll just get ripped to shreds. The winds that we're expecting at the moment are 80 miles an hour plus, and the problem we have is initially it's going to be right behind us, blowing straight into here, before it actually does swing around to the north a little bit, which we would get some degree of cover from. So what I've done in the meantime, let me show you. So you can see I've taken the mainsail off, which is a bit of a fag on your own, to be honest with you. I've stored that down below, inside. Again, not an easy job on your own. I've secured that down at the end. I've tried to secure these things as best I can. All the lazy jacks, I've tried to store them as best I can. And this weather is really moving in now already. You can hear it in the rigging around me. It's just getting louder and louder. This isn't even really the start of it. In fact, the wind seemed to build and build and then would suddenly go away again. It's funny, as I'm talking here, there's not a big wind at the moment, but I can actually feel the boat shuddering a little bit underneath me, which is a bit worrying. I believe the yard here is going to be closed very soon, actually. So they're going to batten down the hatches here, so I might make sure that nobody gets injured in the yard. Yeah, so the other thing you can see I've done is where the binnacle is here, I've covered that up. This tarpaulin here, I'm toying with the idea of actually putting this on top of the companionway here, just a bit more cover, but I've got a horrible feeling it will just blow away really. So maybe I'm as well to not bother, but we'll have a look anyway. So pretty much at this stage, the whole basis is trying to secure anything that could potentially move. For example, the boom there, getting that strapped down. Also then, going forward and looking up at the rig, I wanted to make sure there was no lines that actually could come free and start wrapping themselves around, causing me problems in the future. Well, once again you can see I've Heath Robinson in this arrangement. I'm not going to change the name of this channel. Heath Robinson Sailing Co. At this stage it's all about trying to secure what I can. In particular, I want to try and prevent as much water as possible heading down the companionway and damaging the wood below. But you can only do what you can do. Right, time to get out of here. Sounds like a good plan to me, but before we go, let's have a look at what I've done as far as the trestles and the stands are concerned. I'll show you this very quickly. What I've done is put a couple of ropes on here just to help hold these together. If I'd known, I'd have brought some ratchet straps or something, but instead I've used my trusty truck driver's hitch. See, this one has got plenty of rope on it, and if they say, or as they say, if you can't tie a knot, tie a lot. Now, as we hauled out this time, we were actually quite surprised at the level of weed build-up in such a short period of time. While the prop was power washed after these pitches here, I've been trying to come up with a way of actually cleaning them up that little bit more. I'll just show you this quickly, just on the prop here now. I just had a quick go with our friend the brick cleaner. And I've got to say that's come up quite well without much effort at all so far, so that's encouraging. You know, maybe some more of that stuff, and we'll see how we get on, huh? As the storm grew closer, I had to get out of the yard, but I was very conscious of the fact that we're actually not making a great deal of progress right now, and that's thanks largely to the weather. With the hard standing yard closed, I couldn't even be on board double T to get on with any sort of work, so there was only one thing to do, and that's to go out to the estuary and see the storm as it started to gain momentum. I have to say, it was truly awe-inspiring to see how quickly it built from nearly nothing to massive winds of over 80 knots in the estuary here, still some 5 miles away from the sea itself. Incredible. I confess, having heard the winds howling through the rigging on Double T and felt her vibrating on the trestles, I really seriously wondered whether I'd be safer here in the marina in the water rather than up there on the hard standing. It's a tough one. With gusts of over 80 knots recorded locally, here at the marina entrance, it's just a shadow of what it's really like out in the open sea. As I've seen so often through my sailing career, nature reminds us just exactly who's in charge. But nil desperandum, as the saying goes, and it's time, once the weather breaks, to get back down to the boat and try and refit this Bimini. Unfortunately, once again, it was a very short weather window, and I found myself racing against time, so I didn't get a chance to actually film refitting the Bimini. However, you can see once again the weather is closing in on me. Well, this certainly proved to be a real test of just how waterproof this thing was going to be. So, as yet another named storm battered us, it was time to dive in below and actually see whether we're actually waterproof. I've discovered a few leaks in this spray hood as well, which I need to look into after our scrubbing, etc., as you recall. So as we can tell, that's the windward side. I don't think I'm going out that way. See, we've got a wee bit of a grip up there on the seam. I think it's travelling along. It might be the outside, we'll have to have a look. Ooh, boy, some gusts coming through now. But eventually the storm blew itself out and the marina calmed down to its comparative peace once more. Of course, the bad weather gave me the opportunity to get on with other jobs. For example, the trestles I was going to need in order to do the hull properly. Unfortunately, these ones I'd been donated were less than ideal. Unfortunately, this also proved the case for my welding abilities. Less than ideal. So it was back to the drawing board and trying again. But I managed to take these trestles from looking like this to looking like this, which I think is an improvement. But, like any boat owner will tell you, you have to take your opportunities when the weather allows. And so, as soon as the weather allowed, it was back to work on the hull. As you can see, what we've done here is actually sand down the hull quite comprehensively and then applied the first coat of primer all around. And it does actually look considerably better than expected. So once again the weather dodging continued. Would you believe, yesterday it was nice enough for me to actually get a coat on of this undercoat. Today it's a very different story. We're back to blowing old boots and seagulls walking to work. It looks a lot better. At least it makes it look like we're making progress here. In case you're wondering, this tube that I've put here is something I put from the sink yesterday, just so that the water wasn't running straight down the hill while it was still drying. So it's not any mod. I've got to say, I think this side looks a better side actually. Still lots of bubbles, as you can see, and the residue of where bubbles have burst. As you can hear, progress is actually very much dictated by the weather windows, and unfortunately right now we're between two of those very windows before yet another storm hits us. What's going on here? From this point, it was a case of actually starting to use filler in the worst affected areas. But then this was followed by more coats of primer. The rest of the hull we'll talk about in subsequent episodes, but so far, progress is encouraging. So despite the weather, some progress is being made. Join us next time, folks, as the hull work continues, as well as our home improvement programme. Spent a good while basically acid washing the area of the hull above the waterline. And as you can see, it's actually come up reasonably well. So that's 2 coats of anti-foul now on the hull. Okay, so after quite some hours of polishing with the machine I inside, so I'm not sure you'll see that there, but a distinct line there where I've gone to. Look at this. But many hours of polishing surpassed even our own expectations. Wow. See you next time.